You're live.
All right, all right. Well,
Oh,
hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Help Me Understand, which is an educational Zoom talking about various topics, and we're trying to help each other understand those topics. Tonight's topic is gender identity, but before we get into that, I just want to say that this Zoom is being brought to you by IME Inc., Delaware nonprofit LGBTQIA organization. And if you would love to learn more about IME, please go to the website www.imeinc, excuse me, .imeincorp.org, or imecorp.org, excuse me, not inc, imecorp.org for the website. Um, the opinions and the facts that you hear are facts, but the opinions are our personal opinions. They are not necessarily those of IME. Um, and that's about it. We're going to get this started. I know that there's people who said they will join. Hopefully they will, so we can get different viewpoints. We would love to hear everyone's opinion, so
mhm.
you help us understand while we're trying to help you understand. I know that we have a lot of people who just listen in. So welcome to those who are just listening in. Hopefully you will learn something by the end of this Zoom. Now, before we get into our open discussion, I do want to say one thing, which is very, very important, especially for this particular Zoom. Gender identity is not sexual orientation. I'm going to say it one more time. Gender identity is not the same thing as sexual orientation. And tonight we're talking about gender identity, not sexual orientation. And for those who are maybe a little confused about what we mean by gender identity, and I guess we're going to discuss like the categories and maybe some of the labels that come along with it. Let me give you like a quick definition of gender identity. Gender identity is a person's innate, their inborn, their natural sense of their gender, of what their gender is. And what happens is either your gender, your biological assigned gender, either
Difference
correlates, right, either correlates with your spirit, emotional being, or it doesn't.
or don't, right?
When it correlates, meaning that you were born a biological gender and you feel that is your gender, you have an innate feeling that that is the gender you're supposed to be. An example of that would be what we call cisgender, meaning that when people are, for example, if you're born a girl, you acknowledge that you're a girl, you feel that you're a girl, you're a girl. That's cisgender. We're going to get into it in a minute, Donna. And then
Shandia says she can't get in. I'm just letting you know. She just sent me a
I think
text.
okay. For those of you who can't get in with the old link, there's going to be, if you go to our page, there's going to be another link that's sent so that you can try to get in. Or you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com under IME Inc. At IME Inc. 234. I think it is. So hopefully you can get in. Hopefully you can get in through either YouTube, or there should be a new link posted on social media, especially on Facebook, so that you can join. So back to what I was saying, either your gender that you were born with or you were assigned either correlates with what you feel, which would be cisgender, or it doesn't. And there's different categories for that. So that's what we're going to talk about. So Donna, I had cut you off earlier. I didn't know if you wanted to add or you were just saying that somebody couldn't get in.
Oh, no, I'm in agreement with you as far as like, yeah, gender identity is more so if you feel that you comfortable as a different gender than what you was born with, then that's what you're going to majority of the time run with,
And it's your natural sense of who you are.
Right.
So not everybody's biological matches with
No.
their their mentality, their spirit,
Nope.
and that can be different, and that's okay. So
Right.
our purpose tonight is just to kind of give you a little bit of education so you can have a little understanding of the different genders. because there's a lot of people who are kind of confused. Even we are confused. We don't even know. We're learning as we go. So most people are familiar with either cisgender or transgender. They're not familiar with the other ones. So we're going to get into the other ones also.
Right.
And as I said earlier, and I'll say it again, and I probably will say it a couple more times throughout the Zoom, gender identity is nothing
to do with
sexual orientation. Yeah, gender identity is more about what you feel about yourself. Is more aimed at, or it's more focused on self, where sexual identity or sexual orientation is more focused on your connection to others.
Right. As far as
that's probably a good way to put it.
Exactly. Right. Okay. Big difference.
Big difference. And I actually would love some of our family members who are different genders than what societal norm is used to. I would love for them to join the Zoom, and that way they could give us some kind of life experiences on
I'm still learning, and I'm 61.
Different genders. Well, I'm still learning. I mean, when I was doing the research on it, I was like, wow, I saw a list that had 57 genders.
That's why it's plus.
57. Now, a couple of them I think repeated themselves, but that's me trying to learn. I have to research and I just have to learn. And I think the biggest thing is that, I think everyone kind of understands when you're born or assigned a certain gender at birth, and you feel that's your gender, you feel that's your identity. Everybody's okay with that. That's the cisgender. Most people understand about cisgender.
And that's funny. Right. And that's funny because when I was young, I did want to transition to be a trans man.
Now, my question would be, like, if I was seeing you at your younger self and you talked about transitioning, I would probably ask you, is it, because I know some people, especially when you are gay or you're interested sexually into another gender besides yours, or the same as yours rather. Do you want to change because of that, or do you really feel like your body is not your body?
My reason why I wanted to change, because I was tired of being called butch. I was tired of being, like, it wasn't more so I wanted to be a man. It was because I wasn't really comfortable being called names. And if I change into a man and and look like a man, I wouldn't be bothered or be, call these different type of names. That's what that was. It wasn't because I wanted to be a man. I didn't want that pain no more.
Oh, okay. Someone's at the front door doorbell. I'm gonna put myself on mute. If you could talk for a little bit, somebody's at the door.
Okay.
They're ringing my doorbell out.
Yeah, but that was my reason for wanting to change or transition. It wasn't because I didn't want to really be a man. I wanted to have that comfort of not being called butches and people making fun of me. So that's why but now I'm glad I didn't do it.
Yeah, I think that, sometimes I think that, when we talk about gender identity, I think some people, are like you have, it was based on how people were making you feel, what names they were calling you. It was about outside influences on you. But my thing is, in your heart of hearts, is that what you wanted to do? Or you were just doing it because you thought it would make it easier?
Yeah, make it easier.
Day to day. Right.
Make it easier.
Right. So I probably wouldn't really consider that a gender identity issue, more than being accepted socially for the person. I keep saying it's separate, but it does connect. But for your sexual orientation, that was more about your sexual orientation and not so much about you being born a woman and just not feeling, that assigned sex.
I didn't feel like I was a man. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would you
Okay.
categorize it? I mean, I'm talking and talking. How would you categorize it? Do you think now, I'm saying as you got older,
Yeah,
as you
as I
got
got
older
older, I
now,
got more comfortable and I got more I didn't care what people thought.
right. So would you consider that a gender identity issue, or is that a sexual orientation issue?
Um, I would think it would be gender because it wasn't about really thinking about sexual or anything. It was more of me thinking of not being bullied or, you know, being told I was different or, how that goes
Right.
back in my days.
Right.
Yeah, it was hard.
Well, how about we talk about the different types of not types, I shouldn't say types, that's the wrong word to use. Different genders when you're not feeling exactly like the gender that you were assigned to at birth biologically. Because I had to be very, very careful with my wording.
Right.
Because
But
when you're born, when you biologically, they determine what gender you are based
oh
on
yeah, at
based
birth,
on that.
yeah, at birth, yeah.
Right.
Right.
So when you're different, I think that's where everybody gets confused.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I know that we have non-conforming gender, we have
Mm-hmm.
gender fluid, we
Mm-hmm.
have non-binary.
Non-binary, yep.
I mean, there was like a whole list.
Yeah,
But when
I
I
finished
looked through the
there.
list, I realized that some genders they had seemed to be like, I'll give you an example. Like they had cis as a gender, and then underneath of that they had cis female, cis male, cis. They broke it down. So my thing is that cis gender,
But
regardless of what one you chose.
what is the meaning of cis? Like,
Cisgender is the one that's where you are whatever biological sex you were born with or
okay,
assigned at birth.
so that
That's the
okay,
one that you feel.
cis.
That's the one
Okay.
that you feel that
So
you are.
cis male too? You said cis male, cis woman,
Yeah, I mean they had it
female.
all. The thing is, they broke it down in very much detail. They had like cis as a category, and then they broke down, a lot of different things. But there's some in general, like non-conforming, like non-binary, where people are really confused about those.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I would love for a non-binary or non-conforming person to join the Zoom. I really would love
Yeah.
for them to join it so they can kind of correct me or let me know whether the information I have is correct. You know what I mean? Because my thing is with non-conforming means that they do not go with, and they do not even adhere to societal's gender identities. They don't acknowledge them. There is no category: men, women, non-binary. Non-conforming means they're not conforming to societal um, gender or restrictions or whatever. They are who they are, and that's that.
Okay. And then researching is good, but it's nothing like getting it from the mouth of the person,
Right.
It's because you can really understand where they're coming from and their struggles from birth to now.
I mean, we can give the technical definition of it,
Right.
but it would be nice to have the experience of it.
Exactly. That
Right.
would be lovely. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hi, everyone. So, we're talking
Hello.
about the topic of gender identity, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm on Shandia. If you can't hear us, come in and out. For the people that are watching now, if you want to join this live, I've updated the links. You
Okay.
can also look inside of the caption that I'm posting. So if you look in the comments, the link is there. I encourage everybody to join us. This is not a topic where you have to be a rocket scientist. You could come in and learn,
Right.
discuss. It's just us having everyday conversation. You don't have to be a psychologist. You don't have to have a PhD in gender identity. This is general conversation.
Learn.
So I was listening, and I guess I would have like the gender issue with my personal identity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the thing. The you figure it's only one. Cisgender is pretty simple. You know what I mean? Like being a cisgender is simple. Everybody seems to get confused when that assigned biological sex does not match who you feel you are.
Okay.
Right.
So I can break it down, and it might sound a little bit simpler for everyone.
Yes.
It's people that function in the binary and people that function in the non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
The binary means two, meaning female and male.
Right.
So that would be considered your cis category: cisgender female, cisgender male. Yeah. And then in the non-binary category, you have everyone that exists outside of the binary. So you're not exactly female, you're not exactly male. You may not even have exact gender. And then when you get to the gender fluid, is when you're living life, you're navigating, and you're necessarily not fitting into the mold of either gender. You may say, okay, yes, I'm gender fluid. Today I feel like a female, so I'm going to carry myself this way. Tomorrow you might feel masculine. And then gender non-conforming is our lovely, lovely masculine lesbians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are, even though you may not call yourself that, you're gender non-conforming. Female, but you don't live to the standards of society.
Right.
So it's almost like gender fluid and non-binary on like opposite sides of the spectrum.
So in the
binary does not identify fully with each gender. They can be a little more.
You can be
fluid.
Yeah. It's not exactly fluid.
But gender fluid is that you may be anybody and you embrace that. Non-binary is that you don't fully feel, no day do you fully feel a male. Do you fully feel female? Do you fully feel, whatever gender label you want to do?
Well, the non-binary umbrella is so big.
It is
big. So
it is.
You could be agender, which is, everybody learned in school, A means no, no gender. You could fluctuate. You could be like maybe 20% male and 80% female. Sometimes people like to lump the trans community and the intersex community into the non-binary, but I personally see it as two different things.
I wouldn't put the transgender in non-binary.
Yes, but some people do, even though it's different.
Right.
And I like what you said, Angel. The most important thing, if anybody's watching, the most important takeaway is structure does not dictate function. I know we learned that in biology, right? How many times have you heard that?
Yeah, but who made the textbook? Who made the textbook in the curriculum?
So
cisgender.
Yes. So structure in this
gender heterosexuals.
In our community, structure
I have a question right here. I got a question right here. It says, do you think your life could or would be better if your gender was different at birth?
What do you mean?
But you know what? That's kind of a heavy question, because if you are trans, then you're going to answer no. You know what I mean? If you are cis,
I get what they're saying. I get it. I get what she's saying. Do you think your life would be better if it wasn't dictated by a society, your parents?
No, I think it would be.
Because trans women, I'm thinking, would they wanted to be a woman, a girl when they was at birth instead of a guy? This way they didn't have to go through that transition to be a woman.
Yeah, but if that was the case, as far as society goes and all of our labels and all of our sections, they wouldn't be trans.
I know, but I'm saying they would wanted to say that, dang, I wish I was born a woman instead of a man.
Right.
I think that to answer the question, the answer is yes. If our children were born and we just had them and we allowed them to be children, from a historical standpoint, I just want to say that all of these concepts is new. Female, male, before you just were. You were the great, like our organization. I am me. You were
Because back in my days, we didn't have all
that
that pansexual and asexual and sexual.
But see, we
had
it. But I'm saying we had it. We just didn't have. We just wasn't familiar with the labeling and all that. I mean, I think that
it wasn't as strong as
gender
it is
identity
now.
has always been around. You know, people have.
Yeah.
There's always been people who struggle with it. We just never, back in the day, so to speak, we just didn't make it public. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, it was just
named it something else and put it in other categories when people went through this, especially when they went through P's favorite topic, when they go through dysphoria. You know, it's just, we had it, so it's kind of like it wasn't exposed to us as much.
It wasn't LGBT plus back then. It was just
just LGBT.
I kind of like the labels because it gives
direction.
No,
it gives
not
direction.
necessarily direction for the public, but it makes the person gain visibility. Because sometimes when you don't acknowledge, a person feels erased. They don't feel like they fit anywhere. And I like it. I know a lot of people say, well, I don't like the labels. Well, you don't like it, but think about the other person on the other end that can't quite describe who they are and they don't feel like they fit anywhere. So
I think the people that say they don't like labels, the ones that I spoke to, I'm not going to say everybody, but I think some of the people that say they don't like labels, I think they use the labels in a wrong way, or they don't fully understand the label. You know what I mean? Like, people like, I don't like labels, I'm not this. Yeah, but why? Okay, why don't you like it? Because I'm this, and that don't mean I'm okay. Then you're falling into the stereotype. That's why you don't. Labels are. I tell everybody, go to a supermarket. Let's remove all of the labels, all of the sections, and you just go in there. It's food, right? So go in there and eat. Go in there and shop. No, labels are good. It says pasta, or pasta sauce. You go in that aisle because that's where all the pasta sauce. Now, once you get in that aisle, it's up to you to look around, read, price, to do whatever you need to do to choose whatever best sauce is for you. But you want some sauce, or you can go to the fresh vegetable section and make your own sauce. Like, what do you want to do? At least you have some kind of.
And I need labels because I need to know how much salt in there.
Exactly. Exactly. But I'm saying a lot of people who get frustrated with labels, like I said, I think they put too much on the label.
Right.
Too many stereotypes they layer on that label. And they don't like the stereotypes that are attached with that label, so they don't want to label. But we are learning. We are built from labels. Everything we do in our life is categorized.
Exactly.
And like P was saying, I do think it gives you a sense of self when you can say this is me. You know what I mean? Let's start here. You don't really know me, but we're gonna start with this, and then we'll take it from there.
Exactly.
Yes. Now, I'm glad that you mentioned that gender identity has absolutely nothing to do with your orientation, and that's something that needs to be repeated throughout.
Yeah, because
your gender has nothing to do with your orientation, and structure does not dictate function.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We got to keep saying it for the people in the back. Exactly.
Two different
things. Two totally different things. And I think sometimes people blend them together because in our calls, LGBTQIA, in our calls, everything's clumped together. And I think that was the issue at one time. I think at one time people did not want that clumped together. They wanted to separate gender identity from sexual orientation and not have it in the same rainbow label.
Yeah. some people on the other end of the spectrum, the non-binary, the trans community, and the intersex community, feel like it's two different things. But I personally, because I am on that spectrum, I believe that it needs to be attached, because even though you are those identities, you still could be within the LGBTQ community. So for people that's watching that don't understand, you could be a trans lesbian, you can be a trans bisexual, you could be, you know, we should be the intersex lesbian. This, you could be non-binary, but I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, so, I think our cause is very similar. Our cause and our intention is very similar, but we just have to educate people and ourselves to know the difference.
Right, exactly. Like Beyonce said, you gotta be cozy in your skin.
But I would love for some of our non-binary, gender fluid, non-conforming folk to get on. I would love to talk to them.
It would be, because I would like to learn that, you know, get from their mouths, you know. It helps. It helps.
Well, now, what do you think? What do y'all think about, you know, young kids? Like, what, you know, because I believe that they should be able to explore, you know, and figure out who they are. But
yeah,
I know explore. I know I have people always ask. Well, not people always asking me, but I've had some questions concerning, you know, when do you make that judgment on who they are as far as gender?
That's
Well, it's just a question. I'm just asking, you know.
I know
what you guys thoughts on it.
Opinion, you shouldn't. I mean, I've often said on these broadcasts, as a child, I did not identify. I guess you could say I probably was non-binary, because as you grow up and your parents tell you you're a girl, you're a boy, you're this, I didn't identify with either, and I didn't understand it.
Right.
I felt like I was being tossed into confusion and forced to pick something that wasn't naturally me. It took me a while. It took me till I got maybe into high school, where I had to actually mentally make up my mind and say, okay, I'm going to be a girl then. Because I always felt like, and technically I'm both. Mm-hmm. So why do I have to be pushed? It felt like a really bad push. And I don't know if you guys felt like that, but for me, it was always like a constant headache, a constant strain. Oh, little girl, you're a cute little girl, you should wear this dress, or you should do this.
Right. I hate it.
To the point where, you know, like I shared on this broadcast, I started shaving off my hair, my eyebrows, cutting my hair off, tying down my chest, because I just wanted to be me. I didn't want to deal with all the things that, you know, society said I should be.
Right.
So I guess I think maybe children should just be left to grow.
Shandia, is that your TV?
That's Shandia's TV.
Shandia, can you? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, children should be. I mean, I say this. What would have made me feel better, right? If I was just able to grow up and explore, even though I did it anyway, because I've always been my own person. I don't know how I came out like that, but I just always was. So if I wanted to play football, I did that. If I wanted to do stuff with boys or girls, I did that. But I didn't see myself as boy or girl. I just saw myself as me. And I think that society should allow us to do that. Again, people go back and read. There was a time where you did not have gender.
Right.
There was no gender. You just were you.
Right.
And then you grew up. So all this is fine, and I don't get it. And I don't understand why is it such a big deal for, why do we got to gatekeep that? What's the big deal?
Right. Be free.
I just think that when it comes to the kids, when we explain different things to them, we should give them the broader picture. You know what I mean? And maybe that'll help them open up, as far as struggles and not go through like what P went through, being a young person, because not everybody is a go-getter. Not everybody is
And
confident
that's
enough to do a lot of
and,
stuff. So,
and that's
but
where ball came from, like the ballroom things, because
mhm.
in the houses, because parents didn't want them. So they took them underneath their wing, as far as like the houses of, because they couldn't be themselves around their family.
There are some cultures that accept it. Like, some cultures consider it two-spirited and feel that that is a blessed thing to be. And they praise people who are not the societal norm identity, gender identity, I guess you want to say.
Right.
Um, but not most. But there are some cultures that, that they consider that special. They consider that a gift for you to be that way.
Powerful.
A comment from Maybach Mel said that's the problem he has with the government and society, to force feeding children. Let the children just be children.
Right.
So we have heteronormative people that are making the rules, and they're scared to death to have their children exposed to something that they don't even understand themselves.
Yeah, but none
Exactly.
of it makes you I think if they have more of a hands-off approach and just let the child grow up, they'll sooner discover what we already know, that you cannot turn anybody into anything. You just are who you are. And eventually you're going to be whatever it is they're trying to protect you from, if that's what your identity is.
Right. Can't stop it.
I think it would be more happy
Got
childhoods.
nobody.
I think it would be more happy childhoods. I think kids would be able to really, explore a foundation for self.
Yeah.
If we were like that, in a perfect world, we would be like that. So maybe we can try to make that for those in the sound of our voice. Make your home like that. Make your
Right.
home an open, safe space, and let your children
Be
explore what they need to explore to see who they're going to be.
right.
I mean, if you have if you have someone that you're calling a little girl, don't only limit her to doll babies and household stuff, and
I
teach
mean,
her
I
everything.
played with GI Joes and everything when I was young.
Yeah, if you have a little boy, teach them, introduce them to everything. Let them and sit back and watch their progression. You know what I mean? See what they gravitate to or what they don't. And but that's hard when it's outside the home because society doesn't think like that.
Yeah, we got effed up society.
And how about just calling your kid by their name?
Right.
And now, y'all tell me this, right? Growing up in a black family, like a country black family, did you ever notice that we already automatically call, say they and them, versus he or she, they did it? We
Mm-hmm.
normally do that anyway, naturally. And then as we
Mm-hmm.
grow up, school correct. Who are you talking about? They? Oh, him, her. So
Right.
there
Mm-hmm.
must be something
Mm-hmm.
to that. Because as a child, you speak that way. You be like, well, what happened to him? Well, they did this to me. Well, who is that? Right?
Right.
You heard that. So it must be natural. I don't understand how it seems like an issue now. When
Right.
you were doing it already. Like I don't know about your family, but I know the country families where I come from,
People
they
change
a
up
lot
when they
of
want to
they.
change up.
Yeah. It was a lot of they did
When
it.
it,
Yeah.
when it when it works for them, they change up when they want to change up.
Yeah, or you said the person's name. You didn't really use he or she like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is kind of interesting how when people say they're uncomfortable talking about this, but yet if you call them out like you were on some of the things that we were just talking about, they're like, oh, really? Wow. So yeah, you were already doing it, consciously doing it, voluntarily doing it. And you just need to expand on it. Just, let your kids be
Exactly.
your kids.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And kids is a non-gender name. Kids is kids. Children, you know,
Right.
little knuckleheads. I mean, I don't know what you
And then
call them.
and then people in the families see how their child is or how a family member is. They're gonna be, oh yeah, they're gonna be gay. They're gonna be gay. They're gonna be gay.
Yeah, when I was younger, I mean, I heard, not to me because I mean, I am cisgender and
Mhm.
I accept that. And plus, by me being, and then you get on the orientation side, I'm a femme, but I'm a lesbian. They didn't know nothing like that. But I know that they will say something like either they're a little special or a little touched. I'm trying to think of all the names: special, touched, little sugar in the
Crazy.
system. They got a
Yeah,
little
we
sugar
need
in their
help.
blood.
We
You've
need
heard
help.
all those
We
phrases
need
growing
God.
up.
We need to go to church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, my grandfather, he knew who I was at a very young age. He used to always say, well, my grandmother used to say, well, don't you want to play with this? And he would say, oh, she's a little bit different, right? She's different. And I would
Yeah,
look,
call it out.
yeah, she's different. We got to teach her. I want to teach her how to do some other stuff like go climb that tree, or as I got older, you need to know how to get money to take care of a house and how to run a business. It wasn't
Right.
necessarily, oh, you should be the best dishwasher or cook, or it was
Mhm.
always
Some kind of
secondary
domestic
for him.
something.
Yeah,
Or
it was secondary. No.
or the fathers of boys, they want them. You got to be in sports. You got to be this. You got to do. You can't do no dancing, no ballet, nothing like that.
I
Crazy.
heard I heard touch so much when I was younger. I didn't even know what that meant at first when they were like, "Oh, he's a little touch." You overhear the adults talking. I thought it meant that I don't. I thought they meant they was praising the Lord, or I don't know, a preacher, or they had some kind of special talent, or you know what I mean. They was. That's what I thought it meant. I didn't know it had. I didn't know that until I was older. What touch meant. I think I was maybe in my teen years when I
Right.
was told what touch meant. I just thought when they were like, "Oh, honey, that baby a little touched." I just thought they was, I don't know, a genius or had some kind of special talent, like I said, or and the
Mm-hmm.
people that were saying it, the first thing in my mind was church. Oh, he's touched. I'm like, oh well, maybe he's a praise worshiper. I don't know. I didn't think that they meant, you know, he's something different than what he was assigned at birth. I didn't even know anything like that.
Right.
Good evening to Snugglebug. Thank you for joining us. If you want to join
Hey.
the actual live, there's a link in the chat. And you could come on up and talk and chat with us about gender
Hey.
identity and tell us what you think. What is your perspective?
Yeah, it's one of my. That's one of my peeps.
Special.
Number one.
Yeah, someone says that touch means a little special. Yeah, we all know what the
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying,
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was when I was first hearing it. You know what I mean? You just go along and be like, oh, my mom and pop said that they was touched. They, I don't know. I thought we had a Beyonce in the family. I ain't know Beyonce or Jay-Z. I ain't know what direction that was going in, but I thought that's what touch meant.
And Dominique says, I was just having a conversation with a friend who labels herself as a stud, but she doesn't appear like a stud.
Oh, here look,
Oh,
we're not going to get into we're not going to have the sexual
oh,
orientation
she need
conversation.
to come up and talk.
That we're going to talk about sexual
Gender identity.
orientation. Yeah, we're just talking about gender identity right now.
Identity, meaning who you are.
Yeah, who you are, not who you
You
are
are.
attracted
You want to
to,
sleep with,
but
right?
who you are.
Yes. Yes, but wouldn't a stud be an identity? In a sense,
But
it's a gender non-conforming female.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though a stud
So
probably would even believe that
well,
they are
and they are,
outside of
yeah,
the
they are.
binary, right? They
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
They
they are.
outside of the
But my
binary.
thing is when people talk about that, are they really referring to identity or are they referring to sexual
Well, a
orientation? When they say
stud,
you're not, when they say, well, they're a stud, but I don't think they are. I mean, what You know, as far as gender identity, that would mean what? They don't wear men's clothing?
They're talking
Or
about gender expression.
yeah.
So the person is saying I'm a
Yeah.
stud, in which
But I
that
don't.
they are, but when you look at them, they don't appear that way. That's gender expression. They're not expressing what they're saying they are, but that does not invalidate who they say they are.
Right.
You know, and again, I laugh because we're talking about it now, but really studs aren't in the binary. How about that? Masculine centered females, you're not in the
Oh,
binary.
okay. I'm good.
For the femme gay men, you're not really in the
Right,
binary. You're
right,
I'm okay with that.
right.
non-conforming.
Because you're not going through societal rules of what you should be based on your assigned gender
Right.
at birth.
Yep, you're gender non-conforming. Hey, Dr. J, what's up? You need to come on this live.
Mm-hmm.
We paging you. But yeah, I mean, again, it's who you know, gender identity again, for the people in the back, is whatever you decide you are, is a personal experience. It's the great I am. I am this. And this is
Yes.
what I'm telling you, regardless of what I look like on the outside. And you know, I watch a lot of Black YouTube and Twitter, and I hear the ridiculousness of it. And they'll say, "Well, if I say I'm a tomato, then that means I'm a
Oh,
tomato."
I hate when people do that because they're
Stop
making light of,
invalidating people.
right, it's making too light of it. People have these gender identity is a very deep rooted issue with people who are going through it. This is not like a superficial thing. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. No, it's more serious than that. And I hate when people make light of it, just like they make light of gay people. Oh, you're gay, so you must like minors and animals. What?
Hell,
What? You know what I
that's
mean? I don't like when people make, automatically make light of something like that. I don't like
I
when
could
people
go
make them
on
little
and on
comments.
that. I could go
They
on.
they not informed. They really like really hypocritical. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, that's because I feel like people are like that because one thing, we don't want to learn. If we have to put any effort into something, then it's just not worth it. Let's just throw it all away and move the hell on. And you're going to be this because it's easier for my mind to grasp this, because this is the extent of my education and I'm not trying to learn anything else.
Right. People
Hmm.
don't think they know everything, but don't know nothing.
Right.
So with all these gender categories, people do just need to let other people lead them. If you are stop taking, you're not responsible for putting somebody else in a category. Let them put themselves in a category. You
Correct.
know what I mean? So just like the comment, with the stud not looking like it, if they tell you there's something, you know,
Let them
start
be.
from there. Let them be. Let them be. I am me. You are you.
Yeah.
You-
Cozy. That's I'm playing
Because
that song after we get before we get off because that's my anthem. Beyonce gave me the anthem right there. That's my anthem.
people need to understand that it is bigger than them identity. It's not simply, it's
You
nice
gotta
if you
stop
I think it's
worrying about
great
what
if you are comfortable and you feel like the gender you were assigned at birth is really you. That's great because that makes life a lot easier for you. But there's a lot of people that don't feel that way. And their life is mixed with a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of resources not being found, a lot of family members displaced, being displaced or being excommunicated from groups. It's like a lot to go through. So people just need to understand that it's bigger than you. And before you start making opinions and giving your 2 cents, you might want to learn some things first.
right.
You know what?
Exactly.
I have a question. You know, since we're talking about gender identity, and I think that's one of the major issues as to why heterosexual people, homophobes don't like the LGBT community, because of just that whole part. It's just mind blowing for them. How would you each one of us on this panel explain it. How would you explain it to a homophobe what gender identity is to help them understand it? Like, here's the opportunity. Even people in the community, like when I first came out, I realized, and forgive me, lesbians are so judgmental. They're judgmental and they don't like anything outside of lesbian and gay. A lot of them that I met. If you were trans, they weren't hearing it. If you were something, they were not hearing it. So how do we explain this to the people in our community as
don't get with the bisexual
and the heterosexual homophobes?
You know what? I would ask them, because a lot of the homophobes, I don't even think they take the time to think of gender identity. I think they're so focused on sexual orientation. But I would actually ask them, you know, I would just give it back to them. Okay, so if a person is this, what do you call them? Like, you know what I mean? What would you consider that person? I'm just curious to know where their mind would be. Like, you have ABC. You got a name for AB, but what are you calling C? Like, in your homophobic mind, what is that person to you? And then I probably would take it from there. Because I need to know where their mind is at, where they're sitting at. Because if it's sexual orientation, we're gonna kill it right then and there, because this is not about that.
I don't think I'd be able to do it, because I know they're gonna say something retarded and I'm about to knock them out.
Well, they're gonna say something retarded anyway if they're homophobe, believe that. But I'm just saying, I would just ask them. You know, my thing is, I ain't gonna argue with you. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so you're saying there's nobody in the world except male, female. What this person? You know, this you're you know, if it was a male talking to me, I would say you're a male. Why? You're a hetero. I mean, you're a male. Why? You're a female. What makes you know that you're a female? Because of your sense, right? So I just would give it back to him. Yeah, I would give it back to him and see, and we would go back and forth and see how that flows. Because I just need to know where your mind is, how you're thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain something to you. You're going to dismiss it. I want to know what you would call that person, because I'm telling you what that person wants to be called. So I want to know what do you consider that category?
Right. Exactly.
How would you explain it, Donna? Like, gender identity to a person that's just.
I know they're gonna come out their mouth and say something, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I never even would put myself in that situation, you know, because I know there's no getting through to them.
You and I, you're gonna have to explain
even if they're homophobic, and the homophobes, they don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to sit down and have a conversation about it. Their mind's already set.
What about
you? That's why I would give it back to them. That's why I would ask them the questions and see how they would answer.
What about you, Shantia? Would you attempt to try to answer it?
They ain't got it.
She must be on mute.
She's on mute. Yeah.
I had to come out. Because it was loud in the house.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it all depends. Like, to be honest, like Donna said, my mom, I call her homophobic. Like, we all have told her that she's homophobic. I have tried to have a conversation with her about it, and she don't want to hear it because she has her mind made up, I guess, of, you know,
right,
how she feels about it, you know. So, you know, I really can't say that I would. I don't know. It all depends on the person. I mean, I do like.
Right.
One of my aunts had a person before, you know, and she was asking me what makes me like studs and just not just females in general, you know. So I had to, you know, explain that to her, and she was just like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess it makes sense." But, you know, but other than that, like, no, because I mean, like you said, you just never know who wants to really hear it or even try to even understand it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I might be wasting my time with certain ones.
You probably got to take a homophobe on the right day, like when it's raining and it's goddamn striking lightning. So they
Oh man, I could tell you how I handle it, and it's so crazy because y'all know I have an extreme personality. I'll actually get on someone's live stream if they're saying different things about identity, and I will jump in. And you know how black males could be. They can be vicious, but I try to reach them from a religious standpoint and then just a factual standpoint. And so tips for people that's watching and you're trying to explain it. Number one, my first thing when I go to a homophobe and they try to talk to me, gender identity is stupid, doesn't make any sense. Well, okay, it's unnatural, it's this, it's that. So explain to me if it's unnatural. You have people call intersex people that's both. So okay, tell me about that. So if it's only supposed to be male and female, it shouldn't be no non-binary, it shouldn't be trans, then intersex people are born both people. So that just automatically destroys your thought process of people only being in the binary. It doesn't make sense. And then when I go to them from a spiritual aspect, I'm like, y'all always go to church, and the number one thing that they tell you in the church is that you're a soul, right? So why can't a soul be placed in the wrong damn body?
Because it's only a shell.
It's only a jumpsuit. I'm like, this is a jumpsuit.
Yeah,
And
see, I believe in spiritual reincarnation, and
Oh yeah.
it could be
When we leave this body, we never die. We never die. We just go reincarnate and go somewhere.
Reincarnate.
I want to be a tiger when I come back. That's
it ain't about what you want to be, Diamond.
Right. So
I don't want to be no human no more.
You're gonna come back as a dainty ballerina.
Oh Lord. So these
I'm gonna come back as a big boy. I'm a big man.
But we automatically destroy their thoughts with those two concepts.
Yeah.
With, the terminology that we're given in society.
Yeah.
If we only supposed to function in the binary, then why are there intersex people?
Yeah.
If we're only supposed to, if we can't be born in the wrong body and we're reincarnated, why can't we?
Right.
Okay. To even go deeper, and please read these books. Go back and read some of these texts before the Bible, the Corpus Hermetica. It tells you your creator came down and was both. You can't create what you don't know.
Exactly.
You think Adam you thought a rib was pulled from Adam, or was the feminine aspect pulled out?
Exactly.
Make it make sense.
Right. You're right.
We're using
you can't tell these people. They know everything.
So gender identity is not hard. Angel said it in the beginning. It's whoever the person said who the fuck they are.
Right. Let it be and leave it alone. Leave it be. Yeah.
Just
respect me like I respect you.
Right. They just need to accept that it's people out there different from them. And you have to, you have to educate yourself on those differences.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not saying, unless you're being a scholar, if you want to understand every, one, because the non-binary umbrella is so large that you probably be having to take a whole course on just identity, the non-binary umbrella. If you don't want to do all of that, just keep it simple. Hello, my name is such and such. My pronouns is this. And you are? Oh, I am X, Y, and Z. And these are my pronouns. Simple as that.
Let other people lead you. And my thing is with the homophobes, if you're not going to educate yourself on something, don't speak on it. You know what I mean? Don't go out there and put something down and step on somebody's back that you don't know nothing about. At least I know that everybody's not going to like me. You know what I mean? Regardless of what I call myself or whatever, everybody's not going to like me. Everybody's not going to like everybody. But I will feel more comfortable if you don't like me because it's something that you know that is true or some facts about me than for you to just assume and guess and say that I don't exist or say that I'm not supposed to be or, don't do that. Educate yourself. If you want to be out there spitting out whatever you want to spit out your opinion, at least have a reason why you're doing that. Half of them don't even know why they're doing that.
Right.
They don't even know why they're homophobes. I think they don't. I mean, a lot of them probably want to be homosexual, but that's another topic. But
Kanitra says homosexuality being a sin was put in the Bible on accident due to a misinterpretation. So they're living by something that's not supposed to exist. Shaking my head. And if people just let others be themselves, we would be just fine. That's true. Now, I just want to harp on that, Kanisha. The misinterpretation was actually from pederasty, something that, you know, we can all agree is wrong. It had nothing to do with homosexuality. It had everything to do with pedophilia, something that we have to face today, and it's still going on. And I recommend everybody go see Sounds of Freedom if you are calling.
If they let the movie play, because I heard they making it hard for people to watch that movie in the movie theater. They making
that movie is wonderful. So
yeah, I seen it already.
Pedophilia is what the misinterpretation is. I don't know if Angel's going to do another Help Me Understand on that whole concept of believing that a homosexual person is a pedophile. That is just so
we're going to do one on sexual. We done sexual orientation, but I think we focused on certain labels. I think that we probably do need to do one on it in general, but I want to be very careful not to get caught up in, you know, the whole stereotyping and of dating. You know, we talked about dating. If I talk about sexual orientation, if we talk about sexual orientation and have one, it's about sexual orientation. It's not about the process of dating. It's not about your preferences. You know what I mean? It's about the umbrella of sexual orientation, and we can do that. We can do that, right, Donna?
Yep.
I mean, we're not going to. We already have our next one set, but maybe that can be the one after that.
Yeah, sky's the limit. We could just talk about it. There's so many things we could talk about.
If anybody have any questions that's watching, feel free and just jump in. Again, you don't have to be a professional to be on here. It's just thoughts. And, you know, I like Help Me Understand because you are actually getting a general understanding of something, talking to your peers versus watching some doctor on TV giving you these broad terms that you have to look up and try to understand before you could grasp the concept of what's going on. No, we're just having a general conversation. You don't have to be a rocket scientist.
Now, give us your 2 cents. Give us your 2 cents. I mean, look at those that are on the live now. We are all part of IME, but we are all different backgrounds, different opinions, different, you know, labels, different whatever. We have different thoughts. So we just want you to come on, give your 2 cents, and that's what it's all about. Help me understand, help us understand, let's help you understand. You know, let's do this. This is not graded. You're not going to there's no wrong answers.
No wrong, right answer. Everything is,
and everybody has a right to an opinion, and we would love to hear, you know, we would love to hear yours.
Nitra said, I'm really
it's a safe space.
I love deep thinking and intellectual conversations.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to have. I mean, like I said, like people were saying, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, but everyone has an opinion. Rocket scientists have an opinion, and those who are far on the opposite end of rocket scientists have opinion.
Yeah.
So bring your opinion, because what we don't want is you sitting at home talking stuff about our opinions when you won't even come and share yours. Or maybe we're talking about something you need to come and correct us. Right. Maybe you need to input your own life experience and maybe correct us on something or add something.
I need help understanding too every day.
Here's what's funny. The people that are watching, I want you to know that everything you're living and doing is based on someone's opinion and choices.
You wake up. As soon as you wake up.
Yes. I didn't decide that I wanted to work, but I got to do it. I didn't decide that it's terrible and it should be against the law to do a lot of the things, but we're doing. So someone's opinion became a fact. Share your opinion.
And then,
when I get up and put my clothes on for work, it ain't because that's what I chose to wear. It's because someone's opinion of what should be, how you should look and what the appearance and how you should represent their company should be.
Right.
You know, so we already living by what we talking about. Like you were saying earlier, we're already living we're already doing it or living in a society where we're having an opinion, we're judging, we're accepting, we're talking about it in general. Don't even realize it. You don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Kenitra says, even within my college, we are currently discussing this in our queer coalition as to what we can do to eliminate this exact problem. Well,
that's good.
Education.
My opinion, that's it. Education. My solution is, the parents, we are not parents, but the adults, education. The children, expand that talk that you have with when you talk about boy parts, girl parts. Expand that. Expand when you talk about their bodies and how their body work. Expand that and let them know that not everybody's body looks like that or works that way. You know what I mean? Expand that conversation, and we do that over time. It won't become so specialized. It won't become such a taboo topic. It'll be the norm.
Right.
I have a question. Does gender expression dictate your gender identity?
I really don't think that it has to. I mean, my thing is, if I see someone and they tell me that they are female, I don't care, cis, trans, cis, I don't care, whatever. If they say they're female, but yet they come into me in like a stud, you know what I mean? Or they look as if I'll say tomboy. I don't even want to say stud. I don't want to get into the orientation stuff. They look like a tomboy. I'm still gonna say she, her because that's what they told me.
Yeah, disrespect. Yeah.
Right. So if I seen she, her with Tim's, I don't know, Tim's and, dressed in stereotypical societal with a heteronormative male, I'm still going to refer to her as she, her, because that's what she, her told me.
Of course.
Regardless of what they have on or what their style is or their swagger. If she, her tells me that she is a she, her, then I'm going to say, hello, she, her.
Exactly.
Do clothes have a gender identity? I think this is
no,
the
I see some straight women. They be dressing more manly than me.
Yeah,
and they straight. They don't strictly.
That's true.
Now, I will say this:
gender identity, though, do clothes have a gender identity?
I think that
I don't think
clothes do have a gender identity, whether we want to accept it or not, and how we use it. But I know with me, it concerns me with the swagger. It's how your mannerisms, that kind of, sometimes I'll judge by that. I'm not even gonna lie, because nobody's perfect.
I feel like tomorrow I want to wear a dress.
Right. If you want to wear a dress, that's on you. That ain't gonna affect me. I'm gonna still say, hey, Donna. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna.
But you see me
look at you crazy.
in men clothes, then I switch up. Then
like what?
Yeah, but you just said you called it men's clothes, so that's
don't make
identity.
it. I don't think clothes make anything.
Clothes don't have a gender identity.
Right. That's what I don't think.
I think it's how you wear it. How you wear it, because if you wear this is like this. If Donna, you wear a t-shirt and jeans, and I wear the same t-shirt and jeans, we're gonna wear them differently. You know what I mean? You're gonna wear yours. You're gonna have a different swagger about your style, and I'm gonna have a different swagger about mine. But yet we got the same shit on.
Right.
I think again, in America and different countries, we need to just let go. Let people be who they are.
Right.
Whatever a true testament to a person's identity is what they tell you. Clothes do not have a gender identity. Activities don't. Career selection, careers do not.
No.
You need to let all of that go. Stop.
Exactly.
If a manly man wants to put on a damn dress
like LeBron,
hot, and put a belt over, let him do it. It does not mean
if he's comfortable.
Not a cisgender belt. It does not mean he's non-binary. It doesn't mean any of those things.
But
You
see,
just feel
people
like
don't
man
have problem. People are already accepting that. Like you said, we already have those habits that we're doing. People are already accepting that. If you see, look, I ride the train and the subway and stuff, right? There's
Mhm.
many times that I see Muslim men in their skirts, or I don't know what the actual name is,
Mhm.
for that
Mhm.
gear. But I
Yeah.
see them in that, and I'm not talking about something with pants underneath. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen them with their sneakers and a dress, and people have not had no problem with that. They don't have
Yeah,
a
'cause
problem.
it's kind of more like
But
a
if
religion.
that same man take off his uh beanie thing and put on a wig and some lipstick, oh my gosh, everybody probably would clash their pearls. You know what I mean? So we're already accepting. If you see a Scottish person, is it
And
Scottish, the ones with
yeah,
bagpipes
yeah,
and wearing their kilts and stuff? You don't say
yeah.
nothing. But if that man
Irish.
put on a wig and some lipstick, like I said, then everybody would be like, oh my gosh, and have a problem with it. We're already accepting a lot
The
of
only
stuff.
time you can get away with that, man, woman, whatever, is Halloween.
But I'm just saying people are complaining, but they're already accepting. They're
Yeah.
already accepting certain things. And so if it's easy for you to accept that person being that way, and you still if you accept a man who's wearing a kilt and a sweater, and you're accepting him that way, and you're still considering him a man, then you're already doing what we're asking you to do.
Not, yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but why does all of these things have to tie into our gender identity, who we are?
It
Like
shouldn't.
clothes and
It shouldn't.
careers and jobs and cars and
Because
all this stuff has nothing to do with it, but yet
see,
it's assigned to us, and I think that's not fair. That's just not fair.
I think that adds extra pressure on the people that are going through it. I think it adds extra pressure to the families, because a lot of times families disown people, but it ain't that they don't love them. They disown them more because of what society will think
right.
of them if they accept it.
What do you
Like a man would feel
I think, yeah,
unmanly, or if his um his, I don't want to say daughter, but his child, who was assigned maybe biologically female parts, but yet want to trans into more of a male part, then that it's like their pride that hurt their pride. They feel like they're not good parents. They wasn't good. They didn't man him up. They didn't you
right.
know pump his chest enough. So sometimes the displacement or the
Mhm.
disown is not because of how they feel toward their child. It's just society kind of burdens them with expectations.
right?
But I think us as LGBT plus community, we need to be more stern with people that get out of line with how our community is. We should check them and let them know, you know, this is what it is, and you either deal with it or you don't.
Yeah,
You gotta we have to not laugh with them. We have to educate them and let them know this is how it is. You have to deal, you don't have to deal with it, but this is what it is.
right. And you know what else? Since we talking about gender identity outside of expression, what we just talked about, how clothing and clothing and careers and all those accessories to gender identity, they're just gender expression. And I don't think that it's fair to judge and say this person is this specific. You should be this. This is your identity because of all of these things. And another thing with gender identity is the gender roles that come along with, after you done looked at this person expression, assume the identity. Now we're going to give you this set list of roles. Like you
Hmm.
supposed to be like this, and
Exactly.
one of the worst things that I've seen, since we've been doing this nonprofit, the continuous research, one of the roles that I hate for the trans community is that if you're a trans woman, a part of your identity should be prostitution. Those are one of the roles
Hmm.
assigned.
Yeah.
Again,
That's all
just
this.
like, another one they assigned to us, of course, we said it, pedophilia, another role they assign to us just ridiculous shit. You know, you should cook, you should clean, you know, the regular binary roles that they have. I don't even like it for the binary people. I don't like it for the cisgender female and male. I hate it. So what are you guys' thoughts about the roles? Like, is it
But with the trans women, not to, they do be doing a little too much because they be out there prostituting too now, and they be doing stuff
Oh, you got
that,
to find out why. Like, there's usually a
yeah,
reason behind.
it's
It's not
reason
like they just,
behind it.
yeah, there's usually reasons behind it. I know that,
but they do it. They do it, and and it
But
gives
we
us a
all do it.
stipulation.
The
And
whole community
I've
does
been on the corner before, and let me stop.
it. The whole
I just really think that you should allow that person to lead you on what you're going to refer them to them as. You know what I mean? I don't think that we need to know every little detail to put you in a category. I think that if you tell someone who you are, then I think they need to be respectful enough to just accept that. Now, if they want to go do some research so they can find out on their own and educate themselves, that's fine. But I really think that people should just you should just lead someone or let someone lead you as far as who they are.
Right.
Because it's just too much out there. There's too many combinations. There's too many, it's many things out there in categories. So if you know who you are and you introduce yourself to a person, then I think they just need to respect that.
That's it. Bottom line, it'd be easy.
Right. Right. I really
Nobody's
do.
hurt nobody. If you want to be who you want to be, it's not hurting me. It's not hurting them.
Right. But I mean, I do think there are some out there who are very serious about that. And I think there are some out there who, and I really want to say a lot of the young ones, and I'll tell you an example or a situation. I'm not going to put no names or anything out there, but there was someone who told me that they knew someone who was gender fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But when they said they asked them what that meant and blah, 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 but they didn't really have any answers. They didn't really know exactly. They just knew that, it was a young person. They probably about, I think they were teenagers or maybe even early 20s, but they just wanted to, someday they felt more masculine. Someday they felt more feminine, but because they didn't know really what gender fluidity was, I almost want to say that they had deeper issues that wasn't necessarily gender identity. So I think that sometimes you need to have a conversation just to see where that person's head's at, to see if are you truly having a gender identity moment, or do you have other issues that you're expressing them through gender identity? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I get it, but could you really have with all the list of non-binary, gender non-conforming, gender fluid, could you really have a gender identity problem? Can't you just be like you said, fluid? Today I'm this, today I'm that.
I think you can, but I think it's just out of respect for everyone. I just think that if you call yourself something, then you should know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You should know what that is about. You should know, you should know what that is. And I question those who call themselves something who doesn't really know what that is.
I'm wondering,
kind of jumping on the bandwagon.
I'm wondering now, how would a therapist even consider you to have a gender identity issue? Like, what would be the what determines that?
I would think it would be kind of process of elimination, try to touch on, because they touch on so much in therapy sessions that I think that, I think I think over time conversations could probably reveal whether it's a deeper issue and you're using gender fluidity as an escape, or whether you are truly, having gender identity issues, or maybe you're not. You just need to know. You just need to be a little more educated. But I think through conversations, you probably can. And I say process of elimination, but what I mean is, see if it's this issue. If that's not the issue, then let's go to the next issue. If that's not the issue, let's see. I'm saying in a younger person.
Or somebody
those who don't know, I'm saying only the ones that don't know The label that they're calling themselves, they don't know what that label is. That concerns me.
I don't think that's
Oh, okay.
identity problem.
Gotcha.
I think that's just a person that's probably just like, listen, I'm this and just leave me alone because I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, because
Just
they
go
might be
away.
this today and
I'm
that tomorrow.
questioning, which is
Right.
on our thing. I'm questioning.
Right.
Leave me alone.
So-
Say I'm this. Go away. But
So you think that like in birth we should be, instead of having male, female, they should just, we're just non-binary until further progression or further, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like we really should, when a baby's born, that we really should put male, female on there?
No, but that's not going. That's the law that needs to be passed.
I'm just saying hypothetically.
Oh,
If
yeah, I
they
don't think it
did
should
not
be. I don't
assign,
think it should be. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think it should be nothing when you're a child. I don't
you're
think
just a newborn. It should be like newborn baby,
Right, exactly.
the newborn baby, whatever the name of the person is, newborn baby Brown.
yes. Yeah, baby Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when they get old, they come into their own identity.
You come into your own.
So it's kind of like we're born non-conforming until someone conforms us.
Right.
Until you conform
Until they
yourself.
say, look what you got down between here.
I'm saying that's the way we want to conform ourselves, but it seems like we get conformed until we're able to understand and be able to conform ourselves.
Right.
Because they're like, yeah, you're a little girl, you shouldn't be doing these things. I mean, you hear that a lot. You're a little girl, you shouldn't be doing that. You're a little boy, you shouldn't be doing that.
Can't dress like this, can't dress like that.
Or you
Can't
can
dress like this, can't dress
boys
like that, can't play
wear
with this,
pink.
can't play with that. Yeah.
You could put, what is it, anatomically male, anatomically female. Until,
Or biological.
Identify, biologically. Yes, until you identify, they identify as to who they, what their gender identity is. But again, like I said, historically, because I'm a history buff, none of that was up there. You just were. You were whatever your parent named you. And you had some type of identifying marker on you that they knew you got lost. That's my child because of this. Well, listen, I guess the creator answered that. You have a birthmark. That's baby such and such birthmark here. Looks like.
I got one look like a heart on my leg.
Kanitra said they are quick to say that when you identify as anything other than your gender, that you may have a gender identity issue. And that's what I was getting at, Kanitra, because societal norms, female, male, if you going someplace else, you might have an identity problem. You might have to get you some medication. Kanitra, I said I love to live in my masculinity and my femininity, and my kids' therapist said I had gender identity issues. I was
no, that's not true, because we all have masculine and feminine.
That don't even sound like it. Sound like she know what she got. That don't seem like that's an identity issue. It seems like she know, who she is.
We all got both
energies. That should be determined by that child when they are older. Yes, your gender identity should be determined by yourself. Like I said, for me, I determined that later. In my mind growing up, none of that really fit. But when I got older, I said, okay, let me settle on being this.
Right.
I'll do this. This might work out for me.
And the world is set up for heterosexual norms. I mean, even something simple as, we just had the, and still having it, the bathroom issue. You know what I mean? Like, it's like let's say, for example, a non-conforming adult or non-binary, it's like they still want to force you into labeling. They still want to force you into choosing male or female as a gender.
Right.
Well, girlfriend, at the Beyonce concert, they was in the women's bathroom when we was loving it.
Look, I've been in the men's bathroom, not because I want to be a man, but because that line was short.
I was having fun with them in there. I got so many hugs from the trans women. What?
Listen, again, we're defining a place to relieve yourself with a gender identity.
Exactly.
What in the
And it's crazy because even at my job, of course, they have male, female bathrooms, but they also have
Mhm.
a non-gender bathroom or all gender bathroom or whatever they call it, just a bathroom. It's just a freaking bathroom with a door with a lock, and anybody who wants to
I
go in
got a
there can go in
story.
there.
I got a story for y'all. I got a story for y'all as far as like me going into women's bathrooms, because one guy, he followed me. He thought I was going in the male's bathroom, but I'm going in the woman's bathroom, but he thought I was a dude. He following me. And he had to stop himself real cold because I'm like, no, sir, this is the woman's bathroom. He following me. Or I get the stairs, so I go in there with my voice, so they know I'm a woman. Or I got tatas, so it's not like I'm flat chested, but it's funny.
Well,
It's hilarious.
have some too. So what are you saying?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm trying to understand all it is.
I mean,
It's about identity. Men got boobs. Does that make you a woman now? Come on. We gotta stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to stop with the gender role. Anything that's
exactly.
associated with gender identity, let's just stop. Let's just stop giving inanimate objects a gender identity, a bathroom,
right,
a seat. This we do too much. The clothes,
right.
Why can't it just be preference?
Right.
Oh, it's a dress. It's hanging there. Man, buy it. That's his preference.
See, that's what it should be in the stores instead of the women's section.
Yes.
It should be dresses, pants, slacks, shirt, blouses, undergarments, shoes, and let everybody.
And you just pick what you want.
Right. You think a store is going to go, a man go in the store and he pick out dresses, they're going to say, oh, you can't, they want the money.
They don't care about that because first of all, you can buy your partner or
right. That's what I'm saying.
But now if he want to try it on, that's what he's going to bring eyebrows raising. But it shouldn't be that way. But and I think that takes the pressure off.
Me and my wife have the same figure.
You know what? I identify as a female, right? And I could do both or whatever. But my favorite accessory, I love ties. I love men's ties. I love a nice buttoned up shirt with a tie and a nice skirt. What is the fucking big deal?
No big deal.
Why can't we wear a combination? Why can't we be a combination of things and it just be okay? I love hats too. I don't know why. I love quote unquote, just for description purposes, men's hats. The brim hat. I love them. One summer I had a ton of them. Big deal.
Exactly.
You know what I have a lot of here at home? When I come home after a long day, I have a lot of sport bras. I take my wires off. I wear my wires during the day, for work to let my tatas look like, I'm kind of old, so I make them look nice and puffy with the wire. But when I get home, I love wearing a sport bra and a pair of shorts, or they are very comfortable, very super comfortable.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I wear.
Well, I'm just saying, and I consider myself,
nobody should say, "Oh, why you wearing a sports bra?" Like,
right. I think they are so comfortable. I understand, but they don't. They just make me look like I have a uniboob, so I just wear them at home.
Right, in the comfort of your home. Right. It's okay.
But like you said, style is style, swagger is swagger. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own, but that shouldn't have anything to do with your role as far as what you feel your role should be.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Like just because you dress masculine, Donna, I don't think it's right to assume that you should always be the chivalrous one unless you put it out there that that's what you want to be.
Right.
Right. So to recap for everyone, gender identity is dictated by you. Only you know what you are. According to society, there's categories. You're either in the binary or you're non-binary.
Right.
Non means not. So the binary, bi means two. female
Mhm.
or male. When you get over to the non-binary, you're a combination of both, or you may not be any of them. And then
Right.
you go further on, you might be intersex, you might be a trans person. Now,
Right.
underneath the non-binary umbrella is so much stuff: bi-gender, demi-gender, agender, da da da. You can,
Gender queer, pan gender. Oh
yeah,
my gosh, it's
Yeah,
like
that's what
lot
Janelle
of,
Monáe. She's non-binary.
yeah. I thought she's pansexual, correct? So,
Right. Mhm.
okay, so to explain, and we're not talking about orientation, but just for the people in the back that may not understand both, you have a gender identity. So you could be a lesbian.
Right.
That is not your gender identity. That's your orientation.
Right.
You could be a cisgender female that's a lesbian, a trans lesbian, a
Right.
non-binary lesbian. All right. Gender expression. A person could dress a certain way, look a certain way. We don't know why they look like that for that day, but that does not dictate what their gender identity is.
Mhm.
For example, you can see a tomboy. Her expression, she's dressed like a boy. She's a grown woman. That does not mean that she's
Mhm.
a stud, a lesbian.
I'll
Mhm.
give a good example. I had a friend who worked in construction.
Mhm.
And she's a heterosexual female, married. And
Mhm.
but if you looked at her, you would think she was a butch stud. You remember the
Mhm.
word term butch?
Right.
Because
I
she
hate
works
that.
in construction and it's comfortable and it's easier, she said, it's for her to dress that way like the rest of the fellas. And it makes, her
Right.
whole work day go by better. And she's comfortable in it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if you looked at her, you'd be like, wait a minute, but she's straight. She got a family. She's
Mhm.
married, to
Yeah.
a male, and it's just she wears that for a defense, kind of like, that's
Mhm.
because she can blend in with the guys that she work with. She work on a road crew, and and she said it's comfortable. So even when you see her at home, you'll still see her in like a t-shirt and
Right.
Right.
like loose jeans or maybe stretch pants. But when she
So,
go to work,
That's why I say clothes don't make you.
if you see her from the back, you would swear she was a man.
okay.
Right.
So
Even her
basically,
hair is short because she says it's hot. And when she wear a hard hat, she
Right.
don't want all that hair in her
so
on
let's
her.
break it down to the terminology. So she's a binary heterosexual person.
Correct.
Mhm.
Break it down even further because she's in the binary. She's a cisgender.
Yes.
Cisgender meaning born a female, recognized as a female. So she's
Right.
a cisgender heterosexual woman.
Correct.
Gender expression at work is masculine,
Correct.
Mhm.
but that does
Complete
not
masculine.
dictate her identity.
Nope.
Correct.
For those people, I'm hoping people are getting this so you can understand
Right.
what we're saying. We're not using deep clinical terminology.
No.
Gotta
No,
go in the book.
because you have watched those PBS specials. They use deep clinical terminology that burns your brains out. And then you say, I don't want to see this no more. I don't care. We're putting it in layman's
Right.
terms for you.
This is
Exactly.
regular talk with regular folk.
Exactly. I don't got no PhD nowhere.
All right. So what is everybody on this panel, what is your gender identity? Just for tell your gender identity and your orientation. So people will get
Cisgender female who happens to be lesbian.
cool. Donna.
Yeah, cisgender female who happens to be masculine centered, who
So
loves women and know she's a woman.
now would you consider yourself gender non-conforming because you
Of
wear
your style, of your
clothes?
expression.
Yeah.
Of what I wear.
Yes.
I wear it for comfortability and because I don't think I'm a man, but I'm very my masculine. I'm very masculine, and I don't see myself wearing dresses, so I wear because I'm comfortable in men clothes and I look good in them.
Yep. So you're gender non-conforming. I'm a female, I'm a lesbian, but I don't follow y'all societal standards.
Exactly.
Boom.
Right.
Right. See? Duh. All right.
See, and I kind of follow societal. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie and be like, I do not follow, because I kind of do. I mean, you know, I kind of, I kind of do. I like my door opened, and you know, I want to wear my little prissy clothes, and only my personality is truly masculine.
I am.
So Angel, you don't have like a borderline. You just masculine. You don't have like that half and half. You just straight out
And
100.
my personality.
Yeah.
You know what? I do have half and half, and the only reason why I say that is because, you know, I guess because of my stubbornness, and you know,
That's
I
a
want what
cancer.
I want.
That ain't got
That's
nothing to do with you. That's a cancer.
Yeah, no.
And I even had Stacy, who's my partner, for those who don't know. I've even had Stacy be like, "Oh, so what, you stud today? Are you sure you ain't no stud? You sure you ain't?" Because of my personality and my demeanor, but it has nothing to do with my style.
But
You're strong black.
But my personality.
You're a strong black woman. That's
I'm
it.
gonna say this. But your personality traits, again, it does. We give it a gender identity, so it's just,
I would not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Shantia still on or no?
No.
I'll tell y'all mine. I'm intersex, and my orientation is pansexual.
Oh, so you Janelle Monáe too, huh?
I mean, and it makes sense, right? If you're both, then wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Kind of like both people, all kinds of people.
We need to get Janelle Monáe at a me seminar.
I don't think you would be able to deal with it, Donna.
Oh,
no.
We would have to not invite you. You would have to just listen.
Rajonda. Oh, okay. So Kanitra says, right, my fiance is a stud and I'm masculine presenting, and we both take on full responsibility of everything. I'm non-gender conforming and non-binary. Rajonda said, yeah, people call me all different things.
Oh no.
I'm non-gender conforming and non-binary. So again,
like I said, let people lead you. Don't take over someone's responsibility to, you know, say who they are.
Right.
And what that means to them.
Right.
Exactly.
And I think the world is better when you have different people. It's more colorful. Who wants just a drab world where everyone's so stiff and we just in the binary and everything, and we got to follow these gender roles and
exactly
the expressions? It would be so boring. Art wouldn't exist.
And cozy in your skin.
Probably had boring music.
But you know what? That's one of the things I love about my friend circle. We'll all have different opinions and we're different styles. And I don't know if I will be comfortable in everybody thinking like me, everybody looking like me, everybody doing what I do. I would feel very uncomfortable with that.
Right.
I'm not even attracted to myself. You know what I mean? Like I would feel very uncomfortable with that.
Oh my God. I hope everybody's enjoying this and you're learning something from this. I mean, we're saying a lot of funny stuff,
but all in all, we're just going to repeat it one more time. Gender identity is different than sexual orientation. I know that some of the conversations we had, and so some of the talk we had tonight and opinions did have a connection with sexual orientation. That's kind of a natural connection with something other than gender identity. You know what I mean? Just because that's people kind of clump when we talked about gender identity is different than sexual orientation, people.
Yeah, we kind of lump it all together. But mostly with your gender identity comes with the issues of what your role should be and how you should appear. It has nothing to do with who you're jumping in the bed with.
No.
Yeah, because people
that's none of your business. That's none of your
business. People in the binary are gay.
Gender identity is self. Sexual orientation involves others.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes, depending on what, or I just caught
Wait a
myself. It may
minute.
not. It
Yeah,
may not.
because
So let me.
you
Right.
could not have sex. You could be asexual.
Well, how about gender identity is how you, like I said, and in that sense of who you are, and sexual orientation is in that sense of who you may be attracted to.
Yes, it's who you're attracted to.
Exactly.
Two different things.
Yes.
So we're basically telling you, don't judge a book by its cover. If you see a man in a binary, a straight man, that does not mean, and he has the appearance of a straight man, and everything about him reads straight male. He may be gay.
Exactly.
He may be bisexual.
But baby, them trans women in that concert, they had my head turning. What?
Well, they're women.
I know, but
it's okay to like them.
yeah, but
and that's what you're attracted to, women.
Yeah, they had me turning. Yeah, they woo. Dang.
But like people saying, I really do hope that the people who, I mean, we joke and laugh and stuff, but I do hope that you got some good information from us tonight. Because it's very important to respect someone's identity.
Have to.
It's very important to do that.
So you want somebody to respect yours, you gotta respect theirs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't respect a person's identity, you are doing something that, especially as a Black person coming from slavery, you're erasing who they are. And if you can't understand it from an LGBT perspective, understand it from a slavery perspective. When they took everything from us, our culture, everything, that was erasure. And that's what happens oftentimes with our community. A lot of us get erased, and this is where you start to have those issues. Suicide being the worst, but it's stuff that can happen in between.
Yes.
So we need to learn to respect each other.
And that's not hard to do. That's a very easy ask.
Yep, that'd be our community and our allies and the heterosexual community. We all need to respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure about somebody, if you feel comfortable, if you're close enough, ask them. A lot of people don't mind answering questions. Long as you're, long as you have a little tact with it, but they don't mind answering questions or go research yourself. If you have a friend who's non-binary or gender fluid, maybe research. That way you'll know how to, maybe be a little more respectful toward them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Understand them a little bit.
And if you hear the term non-binary, that doesn't automatically make them in the LGBT community.
No.
People, I've seen it at these new shows that are out that's more open. I've seen the show with a person, non-binary, and then it's this whole, oh my God, I think he's gay. But no, really, he can be non-binary. Well, they can be non-binary and straight.
Right.
So these terms, learn them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think it's worth educating yourself. It is definitely worth educating yourself because now more and more is being out in the open. It's not too much behind closed doors anymore. Exposure, you're going to be exposed to a lot of things. And it's best if you got a little heads up on knowing what they are so you can be more respectful.
Right.
So I guess we're going to have to rewrite the English language because people going to have a hard time with not saying he and she, they.
The English language ain't really ours anyway, but hey, that's another story.
Oh, God. A lot of people, I've read that in one of the articles, if we use these terms, are we using proper English?
No.
Probably not.
Casting spells and everything. That's why I don't say good morning. I say good rising because nothing is morning over here. I'm not morning. Nobody's there for nothing. I'm rising.
Oh, if you use they in a sentence, that's not proper English. You can, that's just not proper.
Mm-hmm. This ain't us. This ain't our language.
So Anitra said, right, be who you are for your pride, and started laughing. And then she said, I always say ask rather than assume. Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Absolutely.
we had
Absolutely.
8:45.
Don't assume. Ask. If you want to ask. Be comfortable enough.
So I hope everyone has got a little better understanding of the whole gender identity um, concern or questions or information. They got a little bit, and if you didn't find everything out, hopefully we gave you enough to where you can research. And if you really are having a hard time understanding, go to www.imecorp.org and set up a Zoom with us or set up a meeting with us, and we'll be happy to one-on-one kind of explain and break it down to you.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid. We don't bite.
No, we don't. We're cool people. We're gentle. We're educated. We're here for you. We're
Unless you
here for
start
you.
calling us names other than
Uh,
their identity, harsh names.
there is this thing called street that we all can get if pushed. But no. So hopefully everyone who heard us or hear us, who's listened to the live stream, who will be, some people wait until we're done and go back and listen to it. So hopefully it gave some good information, some good points.
Exactly.
Whoever's watching, did you enjoy the show? Kanitra, Virjonda, did y'all like it?
Jonda on. That's my peeps too.
She's viewing. Yep, she's
You
viewing.
really? Oh, what's up, Jonda?
People in the chat viewing. We thank you for joining us. I mean, again,
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
help me
Thank you for your opinions.
Yeah, yep. Help me understand is just, general conversation. You kicking back with your friends and just having, what is it in the street? A cipher. You're having like a cipher.
Exactly.
It's just like it said, just help us understand. Help me understand.
Exactly.
So what is the next topic for next month? Y'all can go into that. It's like it's
Okay.
8:57.
Do you want to go into it, Donna?
Um, sure. What are we? Do we have anything? I don't think
You know
we have
what?
anything.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Donna,
Oh,
we talked about it.
you can understand. My memory is the worst.
Okay, then I'll do it, Donna. Next topic, which is going to be every third Thursday of the month, and actually our next topic we decided to touch on parenting again. We just had a two-part session on parenting, but there was one thing that we did not go too much into that we want to go into next month, and that is different ways that the LGBTQTIA community can become parents.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like,
Yep.
honey, we're having a baby.
Right.
It's a lot of people question the process. It's a lot of people that
Don't know the process. Don't know where to start.
don't know where to start.
You mean a woman can't get another woman pregnant?
Right.
Time I thought she
Exactly.
had something shot out of her head.
They could try,
Exactly.
but it's hard. They need something.
So
They need one thing.
we want to talk about the different ways to become parents and maybe the stereotypes around that or the stigma around it. Just to finish up our whole parenting series.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Then get into something juicy, some more juicy stuff.
Get some more juicy stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
hopefully there will be some parents that come on, to give us their experience and journey of how they became parents, if they feel comfortable enough to do that.
Yeah, especially with the same sex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all this time I thought the masculine, hold on, the gender non-conforming lesbians were running around stealing sperm from men.
They running around with turkey basters.
Don't freeze it. Let it be fresh.
I mean, there's not a glove that shoots it in there once you steal it. Should I create that?
Don't freeze it.
And it's actually mostly for our allies. It's really for our allies so they can understand, how we become parents, because it really is not a big deal to us, but for whatever reason, it seems to be a big deal to them. So go figure. So we'll talk about it. Why not?
It's gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
It's going to be very interesting and very funny.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Next, you're going to have a show on how do y'all have sex?
We're not going that deep.
That.
We're not going that deep. We're not going that deep.
That
would have
to
be
everybody
a
on the
invitation
discussion.
only. Yeah, that would have to be a
Talk
private
about sex.
invitation
Everybody
only.
be on here.
Let's talk about sex. Everybody. Sex is the one topic that everybody will join on. We probably have a whole 50 people on the Zoom wanting to give their opinion on sex.
Exactly.
Listen,
everybody.
if you had one that said how to have oral sex, you'll have more men on there.
Yeah.
But you know what? I actually, we laughing, but that's actually a good topic, not necessarily just sex in general, but
sex.
Healthy, safe sex, because a lot of our community don't get the proper information to have safe sex. You figure a male and a male, there is a way to have healthy, safe sex where you don't hurt your partner. Females, we not only munching on shit, we doing other stuff. You know what I mean?
Speak for yourself.
Oh, you mean to tell me gloves or condoms?
Right. Hey, anything could be. You know what I mean? We got some saran wrap in the kitchen. We got the instant cling saran wrap. But that is a good topic to talk about, though. The healthy aspect of it, the clinical side of it, not so much the act itself.
Yeah, active. Yeah. That'd be good.
But that conversation is going to turn into the act.
Our dirty minds.
But
I don't know. Haven't had that in a minute.
Maybe we'll add a little bit of that in next month, since we're talking about pregnancy and how to have babies and how we can have babies. Maybe we can touch a little bit on.
Yeah, maybe an hour that and an hour that.
I don't know. I think that's going to take longer than an hour. And we start giving people tips and techniques.
Part 2, part 3, part 4, part 6, part 7.
That should be an IME seminar, the safe sex seminar.
Yeah, safe sex. We can have a safe sex seminar. We can have STD and AIDS testing vendors, and we can do it all. But I think it's important, because a lot of us don't get that kind of education. It's trial and error, or we have to listen to other people. They're not teaching it to us in school. Parents aren't talking about it. It's kind of like you gotta, either go to porn and see somebody do it, or you just feel your way through.
Yeah.
But you gotta, if nobody tells us, how to protect our partner or how to protect us,
Not at all.
It's crazy.
Not at all.
So I guess it's time for us to kind of wrap this up. Oh, somebody done popped on. Mike, do you have any words, or you just wanted to come on and...
Hey guys, Mike here. Pronouns zers.
What's up?
I personally think that there are approximately 69 genders. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but that's my gender identity. And I actually, my friend used to identify as a toaster strudel. And please,
a toaster strudel. What's that? I don't get. What's that? Explain, please.
Well, we still accepted him because his pronouns were toaster/strudel.
Oh, see, this is no, get off.
I think you are a
imposter.
A troll. Are you a troll, Mike? It's okay.
I actually identify as someone who is not a troll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And tell Toaster Strudel I said hi. Thank you.
That's a new one. I've never heard of that, Toaster Strudel.
All right. Thank you. I am me.
No problem. Thank you for joining.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, everyone, we basically come to the end of our Zoom. I think we had great conversation, some great information for everybody.
And we
We
actually
are,
had a troll. What?
and we actually had a troll. That's when you know you. That's when you know you've made it.
Exactly.
But you know,
And
I just hope
everybody go
everyone did get
listen
some good stuff.
to Cozy, and that's everybody's anthem. Be comfortable in your skin. Don't care what
Comfortable in your
nobody.
skin, and repeat it. I am me. Be your own motivation. I am
I
me. And
love
if
me.
you if
Yep, and
you
I love
are very confident in who you are, other people will fall in place. You demand the
that
respect, they'll give it
confidence.
to you.
Yep.
Yeah. Any last words? Well, that was Angel's last word. Anybody have?
Don't let nobody take your happiness away from you. You strive to be better, do better, and stay happy, and don't let nobody stress you. And be you. Like I said, I wanted to play this music, but it's never mind. I'll listen to it later. But yeah, just be you and live your life the way you want to, not the way they want you to. Nobody.
Yeah, I say the same thing. Be you, whatever that looks like. And if you are a parent, stop pushing identity onto your children. Let them be them. Let them
Exactly.
grow up happy, in a safe space within the comfort of your home and grow to be these amazing, beautiful people.
So, yep. For real. Good.
Well, everybody go to www.imecorp.org. Look at the information, join, be a part of the mission that we have. We have a festival coming up next month
12th
that we would love
August.
everyone to come to in Dover, Delaware. Go on the website, look at our events. I'm not, I'm only going to give you a little bit because I want you to go on the website and get the information. You're not going to get all the information from here. It will help me understand. We was talking about gender identity. I need you to go to the website, check us out. We have a lot of things going on. Be a part of something, and just or learn to be a part of something. We got you.
Exactly.
All right. Are we
All
signing out? Are we saying good night?
All
right. Good
right,
night,
everyone. Good night. Till
Good
next
night.
time.
Tell a friend. Share the live.
y'all. Okay. Good night.